I'm absolutely delighted, capital D and everything else, all caps, to be here with my American Heart Association family. Oh my gosh, it's this has been quite a journey and almost approaching my 5th year, 4.5 years, and this is the second time I've done a class with everybody. And these recipes and these cookbooks are just super close and near and dear to me. We love Mediterranean food, right? Don't we all? And it's just naturally heart healthy, which is awesome. And then all of the ingredients in Mediterranean food are also like superfoods. I mean, I was just looking up the pomegranates. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and it's great for cardiovascular health. So I mean, eat more eggplant. I tell people that all the time, and I'm sure they're sick of hearing it. I'm like, it's really good. Eggplant. Most people don't know what to do with it. So that's another reason I really wanted to pair this eggplant recipe with the chicken kebabs, and I love grilled chicken kebabs. Who doesn't? I probably should have just done this outside on the grill today. That'd be a fun setup, but I went outside to pick some basil and I melted. And no, it is good grief. I hope y'all are in a cool place at home. First thing we're gonna do is turn on your oven. Yes, so it's a good thing we are inside, right? Because you need to crank it up to 425. If you're cooking along with me, let's get that going. I want to get this started. I could talk on and on and on about these amazing cookbooks that I am cooking out of today. So I'm just going to show you. This is the Ottolenghi. If you've never heard of him, he's a genius. I mean, he really is a genius. Philosophy major. He's got a gazillion restaurants in London. It's Israeli. It's Mediterranean. He's got a whole cookbook just on vegetables as the main, plant-based, menus and recipes forward. I go through here and I just drool. So, I mean, when I saw this picture of the eggplant with the arils and pomegranate, I did drool, and I had to make it. And it's just got to be heart healthy. We're just not going to put a tablespoon of salt in it. So, get one of his cookbooks. I buy mine on eBay. I get them, lightly used. They may be a little funky, but they're fine. $5, $10. That's great gift too. Now, my other chef crush for a very long time is Marcus Samuelson. And this is his latest book that's super, super interesting because he has wonderful cookbooks and owns restaurants. He was the chef at the famous Aquavie, which was a Swedish restaurant in New York City a gazillion years ago. But inside, he is featuring other African-American chefs across the United States. And the one that I chose was she's a female chef. So always love to support women chefs in America because it is very difficult. And African-American chef to boot, kind of from California, Alabama. Now she's in Savannah, Georgia, and she has a cute little, well, I don't want to say cute, that's demeaning, but she's got a very popular bakery, and her name is Cheryl Day. So chicken kebabs, I mean, healthy, delicious, pairs beautifully with what we're doing with the eggplant. She's pairing it with okra. I love okra, but I wanted to do it with the eggplant. So that way I could feature both of these people. So oven on, and what we need to do is get the eggplant into the oven. It's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. And I have been running all over the place. Well, not exactly me, but I wanted to find and show y'all the most gorgeous specimens of eggplant. And you should be able to find these in a nice grocery store or going to a farmer's market or going directly to the farmer, which is exactly what I did. This amazing farmer, her name is Cleo Braver, and she has an organic farm right here in Easton, Maryland. And she told me the names of these gorgeous, gorgeous eggplants, and I forgot. All I can remember, one is named Dancer, and one is some beauty, and maybe Mary, or I don't know, but some really cute names. And one, I mean, one is actually pink. Look at that. So you can get eggplant now, and you want to look for a green top, you know. If you can see, this one looks kind of more like an Asian one. Often what we're getting in the grocery store has this brown top, even though it's not bad on the around the outside. But and also they have huge, they're huge. I mean, I don't really want a huge eggplant. And this recipe calls for 3 medium eggplants. So I'm not sure which one's a medium one, but I'm gonna go ahead and I want to use some of these gorgeous ones. I'll try to pick some that are the same, pretty much the same size. That's what I'm gonna go with. I think this might be enough. I think this is beautiful. I'm sure I'll be able to find something else to do with the other ones. So definitely, if you have a wonderful organic farm, or even, you know, regular farm or farmer's market or stand near you, I would go there, and you probably are going to pay the same amount of money. Right now, the eggplants were a little pricey. I was surprised. So first, I'm going to show you how to hold your knife the safest possible way. We call it a pinching the blade technique. So I have my thumb all the way at the end of the blade where the handle meets the handle. I actually have a nice little indentation there, which helps. So it fits snugly there. And then my pointer fingers on the other side. And then my fingers are supposed to fit around the handle comfortably. Okay, that works for me. Don't, you know, be afraid to use a large knife, but the most important thing is to choose a knife that's sharp. I don't recommend serrated. Take care of your knives and just pick a size that's good for you. So, you know, if you want a 4-inch, that's fine. You don't have to run around. You know, if you want a little teeny weeny one, that's a little harder to use, but go for it. Safe and comfortable. Those are the most important things. So what I want to do is get yourself a tray. So you should already have a baking tray ready to go. If you want to spray it with a little olive oil or oil of your choice, that's fine. Go ahead and get started on that. Not too much. Remember, we're going to try to keep these heart healthy. And then I'm going to take my eggplant, cut off this top, the green part. We don't need that. I can't not wait. Now, and these newer varieties of eggplant, they don't really need to be soaked. I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, eggplants used to be more bitter. So that's why we would slice them and put salt in between each layer and let it sit and steep. And then I think the salt would kind of draw out the bitterness. So hopefully these are not bitter. And you could do whatever slices you want. It said about 2 centimeters, but it also said to do wedges. And I thought the wedges looked really pretty. So I'm going to do wedges. So these are a little rolly. So the first thing I want to do is maybe straddle it and cut that in half.
Now, Chef, we have a question in the chat that says something about, Natasha's asking, some large knives are serrated. What does a serrated knife do when cutting the eggplant?
It rips it. I mean, it does cut it. It's just, I don't think it's a good habit to get into using serrated knives, because one little slip up and you cut yourself with a serrated knife. That's a very unpleasant rip of the skin. At least, you know, God forbid, there's no accidents here. Sharp blade, little slit, doesn't ruin your hand. or your finger. But some people are more comfortable with those. Just don't use a plastic knife. Those are terrible. Okay, so I think I don't need to make these any smaller. So I'm gonna cut it in half again, and maybe again. I want these to cook rather quickly. And then I'm just gonna throw them on my tray. These are gonna look really beautiful. I did experiment with this recipe. I tried it out. I was very curious to see if it would work in the air fryer. Like, aren't we all? We put everything in the air fryer now, right? It worked great. Not a problem. So if you want to throw it in your air fryer, go right ahead. I just found that on the baking tray, the bottom, it got a little bit of crispy. It kind of looked a little bit nicer done on the tray here. So I'm going to spread them out. This makes a lot. I don't know if you can see on this one, there's a little bit of a brown spot. Just going to cut that off. Don't worry about it. There we go. 2 centimeters thick or close enough.
Chef, Angela has a question. Do you have an air fryer brand recommendation for those who are thinking of getting one?
Wow.
I actually can't think of one. I can't think of one on the top of my head.
Oh, no, Instapot. That's the one I love.
Oh, perfect.
Instapot is the one I use, and I've had 3 of them already, maybe even 4. I lost count because I buy them and give them to everybody. Christmas present to my nephew. I gave my little one to my son. He loves it. I mean, loves it. My husband is hilarious with it. I mean, he almost doesn't want anybody to touch it. It's like it's his baby. It's like, relax, yeah. She's an air fryer, honey. Cracks me up. Yeah, I have the I forget what the quart size is, but the little one was fabulous, reasonable price. I got it at Macy's or Amazon. Probably got it delivered. I have one in the kitchen too. All right, so I'm gonna definitely, oh, I can feel the heat. Spread these out. So there should be enough oil on the bottom of the tray, but I am going to drizzle a little bit more on the top. Okay.
Oh, I love that fancy oil container that you've got there. Very Middle Eastern.
I feel like, the Wizard of Oz when I use it, though. The tin man, right? So it says brush the oil. Want it on a little bit on both sides and work quickly, because I think eggplant really should be called sponges because they soak it all up like in a millisecond, right? Now I'm using olive oil because it would be the natural oil to use, and also it is hands down one of the healthiest oils for all of us, right? Good old olive oil. And if you don't use your olive oil very much and you buy one of those big containers, because sometimes it's more economical to do so, no, seriously, if you don't use it a lot, I would store it in the fridge. And any specialty oils that you might purchase, flavored oils, if you keep them in the fridge, they will last a lot longer. Okay, need tell. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt because I haven't salted anything yet. And I don't know if you noticed these, a lot of the recipes that aren't AHA, they're like, just salt. They don't really tell you how much. Typically, with AHA, it's usually a 1/4 teaspoon is about all we get. which is fine. Now I have this other cool contraption, which is my pepper grinder. We love this. We love this. Of course, it took me forever to figure out how to open it to get the pepper out. And it comes out very nicely, and you can adjust it, fineness, whatever. Okay, hush, hush, hush. Work, work, work. Get these in to the oven. Oh, it smells delicious. Fresh cracked black pepper is the bomb. All right, in the oven, 425. I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for 12 minutes to look at them, okay? Maybe I might want to turn the tray. That's about halfway through. I think the total time is maybe 20 to 25 minutes. All right, yay, got those in. Now I did cheat a little bit with the saffron yogurt concoction. I made one, you know, when I tested the recipe, and it's actually still fabulously delicious. But I will go ahead because I want to make sure that y'all get yours done correctly. See, woohoo. And it tasted fine. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll use that one. But let me talk y'all through what you need to do. Okay, so we have 3 tablespoons of water in a little saucepan. It doesn't have to be a fancy little saucepan. You can do it in the microwave, you know, whatever you need to do just to get it boiling. Okay, let me move the wood. Don't want to just get it hot. I don't even think it necessarily needs to be boiling. And get your saffron out. I mean, I just thought that was gonna be sexy saffron yogurt sauce with lemon, yum. And of course, super healthy because you're not gonna buy the fat, you know, 5% fat yogurt, Greek yogurt, you're gonna buy the fat-free, right? So there's always a way to make it heart healthy. Saffron is, it's, I don't even know what word I can say right now, but it is intoxicating. When you smell it, oh, wow. I just want to take a bath in it. And it's a beautiful color. And yes, I know people complain that it's a little expensive, but actually you only need a little bit, little pinch goes a very long way. And you can get it. I've seen it for a really reasonable price. Okay, it's a little bit, but that's all you need, right? In the Badia section of the markets. So it says we're just going to put a pinch in the warm water. So this is our, let me make a big pinch. Big pinch. See what that looks like. I may be using a lot, but I really want that beautiful saffrony flavor. Okay, it's going in, and now I'm turning it off. It really technically needs like 20 minutes to steep, so that we just made our saffron tea. That is technically what they call it. And I always love the tins, the saffron tins. They're so beautiful. A lovely we have a mobile kitchen, or we did before the pandemic, and one of the buildings, a woman, she brought down this gorgeous tin, and she said it was filled with saffron, and she gave it to me, and it's just really beautiful. So it's got rose petals in here now, and she brought me some saffron tea, and I'd never had saffron tea like to drink with some. She was wild, some Russian honey or something. It was like, oh, okay, cool. So I drank it, and it was really lovely. Okay, we got the tea done, and let's get the rest of the ingredients for our beautiful yogurt dressing. So you're going to need a lemon, right? Now, I do not want to waste the zest. So why don't we, hopefully y'all have a zester, because I want to use the whole thing. And, you know, the zest and on the lemon, the peel is full of antioxidants. And I actually think it needed a little bit of a zip. So get your zester and just gently slide and turn. Don't go ooh and fall asleep. You only want that outer yellow part, okay? Anything further in and the whitey white part gets bitter. So, and then I just bang, bang, bang. Try to resist you putting your knife in there. I think that's plenty. So I don't know, maybe I'm gonna go ahead and put that, what the heck, I'll start a new one. I'm just gonna give this away. So I already have 3/4 of a cup of yogurt measured out. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Definitely let your saffron tea relax, okay? And we want a lot of lemon, okay? Because the lemon is gonna go really nice with our chicken as well. And now I've cheated now. Just roll it. I have become in love with this gadget. Before I would cut it this way and cut it that way. And I'm like, oh, squeezing it by hand. Isn't this wonderful? Oh, forget about it. I need a little bit easier and faster and something. Everybody, the first thing you do when you see a lemon usually just cut it like this, right? So this is sort of a natural. It'd be nice if my knife was sharp. Hello. And of course, when I first did it, I put it in the wrong way. Boy, did I feel silly. Yeah, I put it in like that. Wrong. I was embarrassed. So it goes in like that. So it's the juice is coming out, the holes. Well, you guys all probably know. I just think I was the last person to find out about this gadget. And they're sold everywhere and they're not that expensive. I don't think they last that long. First one I bought was broken. So I'm just gonna guess that 2.5 tablespoons is about a whole lemon. I will know if it needs more lemon. And I don't think it's possible to put in too much for this. You know, because we also love that lemon hit at the end. It's very refreshing and it also kind of makes you not want as much salt. So this is a good thing. Now we need some garlic. Look at this absolutely gorgeous garlic. This is a white German variety, also from my favorite farmer. Amazing. It's just beautiful. I think I got this one from her a while ago. I've kept it in the refrigerator as well. So it's got the hard stem in it, but I'm just gonna have to try. Of course, this is a commercial one. And did you know you can put the whole thing in the freezer? I have one in the freezer. I think it's been in there a bit too long, but I wanna use one of these and see how it works out. This one looks a little strange on the inside, but I'm gonna keep going and pray that it's good. It says 1 clove of garlic. Let me see what this one looks like. You want it to be, you want it to be white on the inside. So let's see, it's a little wonky on one side, but I have forgiveness. It's a huge bulb. I think it's fine. I'm just gonna cut that off on the outside. The paper, coating is much different when you get this kind of garlic. It's much lighter, less papery. So this is beautiful. This is a big piece of garlic, but that's good because I think this needed a little bit more garlic. Clean this off. But maybe I like really bold flavor. So let's clean off this cutting board a bit. Now again, do I feel like chopping? No. It is perfectly fine to use a garlic press. And I have resigned myself and I'm happy with the garlic press and I'm going to use the garlic press. Yes, I could chop the garlic and maybe I'm going to lose a little bit of the fiber. Forgive me. It's so sticky. It's all over everything. And I like this. And actually it's, you know, you get more nutrients out when you press it and, you know, mince it really fine. I have this wonderful book, Eating on the Wild Side, and it gives me all of these really cool tidbits of information. You know, I was, you know, maybe you wonder when you cook the garlic, are you still going to get all the nutritional benefits from it? Well, actually, I can't say I really ever wondered about that, but you don't apparently, unless you let the garlic rest for 10 minutes after you chop it up, but we're not cooking this, so it does not matter. Okay, and then I get to put a little bit of salt. I have good salt in here and some yummy extra virgin olive oil. So let's just guess 1, 2. See my measurements? I'm exact. 3. There you go. Now just stir that up. I put a little salt in here. Maybe I won't put pepper because sometimes pepper looks kind of funky in a white sauce. You like, oh, what is that? There's a little spot in here. I don't know what it is, and I want to dig at it and get it out. Stir this up. I love doing things in these mason jars. They're so cool. Okay, what am I missing? Ah, here we go. This is good. It's not too hot. I'm going to pour it in. Watch this turn a beautiful color. Beautiful. Saffron. Gorgeous color, right? All right, I really want to stick my finger in it and taste it. Enough of this. I'm going to give it the old 1, 2, 3, shake, shake, shake. Let that sit. This will apparently last in the fridge a week and a half, 2 weeks. All right. Beautiful. It's going to be interesting to taste which one tastes better. Ah, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 12 minutes. Okay. Wow. Let me check. Let's check the eggplant. I actually have some hot pad here, and that's what this is for, in case I need to put it out here, turn it over. Don't usually use these at home. Usually I just use kitchen towels. Let's check it out. What is it doing? Let's see if I need to turn it over. What it looks like. Okay, it's not really crisping up yet, so let me turn them over, maybe some of them. I might want to spray it with a little bit more oil. It is hot. Okay, let me stop that. I think maybe another 10 minutes. Might 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, you can count, Stephanie. A little drizzle, drizzle. Come on, drizzle, drizzle. There we go. Going back in. Yeah, I want it to just get a little bit browner on the bottom there. Turning it's always a good idea because the ovens and the calibration and all that might not all be the same. Okay, so my sauce, saffron sauce is done. I didn't forget anything, right? Good. Bam. Love it. Now let's move on to the chicken. Now, is everybody keeping up with me? I hope I'm not going too fast. I did cheat a little bit on the chicken. It, yeah, it requires a, what does it require? A grated onion. I don't know about you, but if you've ever grated an onion before, it makes a mess. I mean, if you've got a better way to do it, tell me, please. But it made a mess. I was crying. Yeah, I did it. I started on this side, and then I switched to this side, and I was still left with a big blob. So I said, ugh, okay. So I put it in the blender, the magic bullet. You know, oh, whatever, and covered it up. It's in here. I don't want it. I don't want the fumes. I don't want to cry. So I'm really glad I did that earlier, because otherwise I have an absolute disaster of a mess here, you know, and mascara running down my cheeks. And yeah, we don't need that. Okay. This is totally easy except for the onion part. So maybe you can have somebody do that. I don't think you can buy onion that way. Maybe if you have one of those, you know, KitchenAid or Cuisinart food, you'll figure it out, right? If you don't, just dice it. I mean, I love onion, so I would just dice it. I like the little crunchy part, but this is how it turns out. These onions were a little small. I figured, you know, it's 2 pounds of ground chicken. I don't think this is particularly chicken thighs. I think this is probably closer to more breasts, which of course is a little bit healthier for us, right? To do the breast. If you really wanted some of the thighs, you know, do half and half, okay? Because they are fattier. And I actually had a red onion in the refrigerator, half of one. And I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and stick that in the bullet too. I did chop it up a little bit before I put it in, so that did make it a lot easier. Now, I don't want to stir this up too much. So I'm going to get the rest of my, well, first I'm going to cover up the onions with the chicken. That's going to stop the fumes from coming out. And now there's some wonderful, very interesting spices, I thought, and a nice combination of spices in this particular dish. So we have cumin. Apparently I didn't have any cumin, but I did have the cumin seeds, and I have a little mortar and pestle, and I did toast them a little bit. It's always, if you're using the seeds, it's always good just to toast it, you know, on the stove. I did it after I toasted my pine nuts, which are already ready for the eggplant dish. So, and I also have this other addition. I found some, when reading about these black cumin. Check that out, black cumin. Ooh, what's that? Oh, it's Nigella something. Which I think is, it looks like the Nigella in the mist flower. And it tastes kind of smoky, and it's not exactly the same as cumin, but I really wanted to experiment with it. And I've been seeing, you know, some interesting different ingredients in a lot of the cookbooks that I've been reading. Particularly in Rise, you'll see unusual ingredients. And, you know, there's almost always a substitute. So if you can't find this, you know, don't worry about it. One article said it tasted like the burnt bits of garlic and sesame seeds that fall off an everything bagel. So I thought that was kind of cute. So I think we're going to just try a little bit in here. It might be a little bit more bitter for the American palate. I'll let you know. I need to try it. And then the other unusual ingredient or you may find it unusual, was Aleppo pepper. I've been a huge fan. Oh, it smells so good. You know, I mean, oh, Aleppo pepper is a beautiful, flavorful pepper that used to be from Syria. So I believe now with, you know, what has happened in Syria, that the Aleppo pepper is not coming out of Syria anymore, sadly. But it's still an Aleppo pepper, and I believe it's coming from Turkey. So I have this already out, and these are beautiful flakes. Again, this is something that, since I'm not using a lot of it, I will keep that in the freezer. I'm waiting for the heat. If I start crying because of this, it's nice. It's almost kind of a little smoky, but not smoked paprika-y like. So you could totally substitute the Aleppo for paprika, smoked paprika, hot paprika. Very nice. I almost want to put some of that in with the saffron yogurt too. Might sprinkle some on top. So what else we have in here? I have I obviously have my ground cumin. Wonderful. Ground coriander. Love it. You could do the same thing. Get the whole coriander seeds, toast them up a little bit. Keep in mind, you know, the seeds last for years in your cupboard. The ground does not last that long. So even if you toast it up a little bit, it's going to lose its oomph. Then I have some more freshly ground black pepper, the Aleppo, and then we have a little bit of allspice, which I thought was really interesting. It's going to give it a little bit of a kick there, and some cinnamon. So it reminded me of the garam masala almost mixture. So lots of spice. I'm gonna add that. That is nice. And then we get to chop up some herbs, right? So the grated onion is already in here. I added the coriander, and now we're gonna add its leaf, you know, parts. Coriander is really the same thing, almost. It was part of the cilantro plant. So when the cilantro plant goes to seed, which it does almost immediately when I look at it, you use those seeds and dry them out, and that's your coriander. And don't forget, you can eat the stems, which is also wonderful. I used to just pick off the leaves of the coriander. Don't do that. Use the whole thing. It's delicious. And then I have some mint. Anything else? A little salt. I get to add a little bit more black pepper. All right. I still have some more in here. This is super fine. Here we go. 1 more minute on the eggplant. It's looking pretty good. Now, if you're like me, I'm always using a lot of herbs, and this is by far the best way to store them. So I hope y'all are doing that, because when you make the investment in fresh herbs, you want to use them, and you want them to hang around a while. This is maybe a week and a half old. The mint does amazingly well like this. Isn't that, I mean, maybe I have a little bit of plopping at the bottom. So I buy it, I wash it, I take off that metal or rubber band or whatever it is, fill it up with some water, you know, and cut the stems off, and keep it like that in the fridge forever. Well, 3 weeks sometimes. I kid you not. And it's a great use of these horrible plastic bags. So that's the mint from weeks ago, and this is the mint I just got yesterday. So, I mean, pretty darn good. And this is the basil. You know, the basil is going to be going in, just sort of placed on top of the eggplant. All right, let's check out the eggplant. Let's get it out. Come on. I hope it's done. What do you think? So it's been 12 and 12, 24 minutes. How do we know it's done? Well, we know it's done when it's soft all the way through. Yay. Oh, look at that. All right. Beautiful. Look at that. So your knife, your fork, just poke it all the way through. You know, and I left the skin on because there's a boatload of nutrients in the skin. And this is organic, so I wasn't too worried. Let's get that out of there. That, place it on the plate. Actually, maybe I'll let this cool for a minute before I plate that, okay? You cool. You relax over there. Because I still have some choppy and I want to get the grill on. Move that. I may not be doing all 10 or 12 of the kebabs. Let's see if we have time. So let me get these going. I think I need a 1/4 cup of mint. Now this I have never figured out. I don't know how many stems or how many. Look at that one, doesn't look good. 1/4 cup. So what, you pick the leaves and then you press it in the 1/4 cup and then chop it up. I always just kind of guess. I love mint. I love the combination of the fresh mint and the cilantro is beautiful. Beautiful. It's vibrant. I think that is the word that was used to describe Ottolenghi. How cool is that? A chef with a master's degree in philosophy. I mean, I would just love to work one day with him in his kitchen. That would be incredible. So I'm going to hope that this is a 1/4 cup. I'm going to wad it all up like this. Okay, I heard you. Make sure your other hand has the fingertips curled under. Okay, just going to go across this. And then as I'm cutting it, I kind of reconfigure my blob and keep going and sort of scooch back. Make sure. So the knife is only hitting my knuckles, right? That is the safest. Obviously, when I'm reconfiguring, I stop chopping. We don't want any accidents. That actually looks, that looks like a quarter cup to me. Going in. Okay, now I have some cilantro. This was the beautiful cilantro from Cleo today. Gorgeous. I have, these are my skewers. I've actually had them in water so I don't burn them. And I'm going to go ahead and get this grill on because we want a hot grill, right? You're only going to be able to see a little bit up at the front. Again, how much cilantro? Oh, a 1/4 cup as well. All right. This might be more than I need. Again, I'm just cutting off those end parts. Well, maybe I'll cut off a little bit more. Wad it up again. So next time you're making some salsa, use the stems. Just adds a nice little crunch too. So the same premise. If y'all do go out and get one of these cookbooks and try the okra recipe, I'm going to try. I'm determined to try that okra recipe. Maybe before the end of the summer, I'll tack it onto one of my virtual classes on Thursdays. Every Thursday, almost every Thursday. All right, this is probably a little bit more, but if I really jammed it in hard, that'd be a 1/4 cup, right? So what else am I missing? Try not to make too much milk. Too much of a mess. I'm really dying to put some garlic in there, but it is not on there, right? It's just the onion, cilantro, the mint. I got all of this, the spices. I put in some black pepper. Did I put in some salt? I can't remember. I'm only going to put in a little bit. That's how we make it heart healthy, right? I like the good salt. All right, my little cheat sheets are getting all messy. Yeah, it makes 12 kebabs. Now, I think I might go ahead and use, oh, this is getting hot over here. Use some gloves. If they didn't have a meltdown. I love working with my hands, especially when it comes to this sort of thing. You know, and chicken does get, has to be, you know, cooked well, cooked all the way through. You don't want to touch it and cross-contaminate anything. So I've pretty much finished all of my chopping. The only other thing really is just picking the basil to put on top of my eggplant, and then picking the arrows of pomegranate. All right, it's looking pretty mixed, I think. Nope, nope. So we'll go over, under, poke it, poke it. If you don't have gloves, of course, most of us do now with the American Heart Association. Somebody near you probably does have a glove. Gloves, hand sanitizer. But seriously, washing your hands is really always the better option. All right. Okay, you guys are just going to have to move over here. Thank you so much. Over there. And now maybe I'm going to form a couple. Says, what did it say? The size. Yeah. Aha, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. The size. 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. Just form it on the kebab. Like that. That should work. I thought these skewers were kind of cool. I also have some other skewers. Uh-oh, now I gotta wash that hand. That looks like about 2 tablespoons. What do you think? Any thoughts? I'm just contaminating everything. Definitely need to have it a little oil on both sides so it doesn't stick. Let's try that. I can try one of these. This is my other skewers that I love from Turkey. Put 2 tablespoons. Try it on this one. You know, you could also make these into little logs. And so let me oil you first. Yeah, I don't think this one's going to work as well. I like that these are 2-pronged. And they look kind of cool. So the oil on both sides. They can go in the air fryer. I do that with the lamb kebabs quite a bit, actually. Which is basically this same recipe, but with lamb. But you can't have lamb too much. A, it's expensive. It's not the most sustainable of meats out there, although it is super delicious. But a little bit of lamb once in a while, right? Easter. But a lamb kebab, yeah. With some eggplant. Maybe that was a little bit big. All right, so you get the idea, right? Just make a blob. Got a little routine over here. Put it on here. They should cook about 6 to 8 minutes per side. That sounded like an awful lot. What do we think? Well, we'll see, won't we? All right, that's cool. Theoretically, I could possibly do 2 on each. I'll do 1 more. Like I said, I don't have time to do all 12. Sorry about that. I blah, blah, blah too much. If I love to share all these little tidbits with you. It's just been some wonderful people within the American Heart Association, you know, and outside our association in my world that have really been helpful, and I'm extremely grateful for them all. Certainly my team in Baltimore, you know who you are. My intern, Alex. Oh, okay, it's sticking. Where's the spatula? Deborah Puccini, God bless you. I send her all kinds of wild ideas or recipes I want to do. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Gia. Love you guys. Well, these haven't been on that long. I think I'm going to turn off this oven, right? Don't need that. Getting some smoke. I think I should start putting while those are cooking. This has cooled off tremendously, so I can start. Oh yeah, much easier to get off, right? Look at that, coming right off. Fabulous. This is for dinner tonight. And really, this is a pretty fast recipe, right? There we go. Almost like eggplant French fries. You could do it on parchment, but I don't think that's necessary. And I think it just browns better. Now, usually, you know, when you are grilling and it sticks, typically that is probably because it's not ready to be turned over. But I don't care if this one's ready to be turned over. I'm turning it over. It's going to behave. Oh, yeah. And I'm glad I did. Some nice grill marks. And I'm hoping maybe I'll turn it down just a tad. That's a hot grill, y'all. But we do want it to cook all the way through. You know, you could get some grill marks and then throw it in the oven. This would be great for a party. You think about that. Well, I think those ones need just a little bit more time. While those are getting their time, I think I can do a little drizzle. Now my other tip, oh boy, yeah, when we are doing the pomegranate, I couldn't believe I was able to find fresh pomegranates. Now every time I drizzle, I don't think we're going to use all of this at once. Drizzle. I probably could have layered them on a little bit nicer. It's the food stylist in me. Oh dear, everything has to be beautiful. Let's taste it. And we get some pine nuts, 2 tablespoons, right? Do toasted already. Do. It says 20 basil leaves, and that's all you have to do. Is just pick them and place them around on top. You don't have to cut them up. I like that. I'm not counting. Y'all can count. Do the little ones count? Bunch of basil. This I actually had in my garden. Little leaves. I love the little ones. They're just so beautiful. A little bit of basil. Lovely. Let me check this. Check, 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 check. One's in the back. Turn that over. All right, yeah, these are good. How do we know if it's done? Ooh, getting smoky in here. Well, you could put a thermometer, an instant read, and you would definitely want it to put it in the thickest parts, and you'd want it to read 165 for chicken. Has to be 165. Okay, now my last little tip. I noticed every time I touch this pomegranate, it stains your fingers and everything gets black and it squirts all over you. And I actually got the stain out, so I was very happy. Little Dawn does some wonderful things. And actually, this pomegranate was from when I did the recipe test. So who knew? I didn't realize it would last that long in the refrigerator. Lovely. I love them. I could sit and eat the whole thing. Make sure they don't pop all over the floor and you step on them. All right. We don't want to do that. All right. How's my time? We're almost there, right? Oh, hello. I'm back. So I said just a handful of the pomegranates. If you don't have pomegranates, you can use some dried cherries. Or what was I thinking? You know, some grapes too, cut up, or even fresh cherries. Honestly, I think the fresh cherries would be definitely a closer taste. All right, I'm not going to touch anymore because I don't want that strange look under my nails. I was a little alarmed. I'm like, what is that? What is that? There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? I think that is beautiful. Now my thingies are burning a little bit, but not too bad. And you can see this particular skewer shrank quite a bit, right? So my guess is that it is cooked. Just to be on the safe side, I got a million of these. Can't live without the instant read thermometer. By the way, you can eat the seeds on the pomegranate. It's 73 degrees in here. Oh my goodness. Make sure it's on Fahrenheit. That's another trick. And my kids just came home. Yay! My babies. Okay. Let's see. You don't want to touch the actually saying it needs a little bit more time. Give it another second or two. Turn this other one over. Like I said, you want it to be 165. You don't want it burnt. These are going to be nicely charred. I kind of like them charred, right? I like that charred flavor. So I'm going to turn them a little bit that way. How about that? So we're wrapping this up very shortly. So if y'all have any questions you want to shoot out at me while I'm smoking out the house. Should have got my fan here. I think this one's beautiful. Oh, I also just wanted to say, I don't know if y'all have heard of pomegranate molasses, but that is also, you know, potentially something you could drizzle on here. It does have, you know, a lot of sugars in it, but I thought that would be kind of interesting addition if you can't find the pomegranate. Okay, so we got a little drizzle. There we go. Now, these are the little, tricks they don't necessarily tell you about. And I love this Aleppo pepper. So I really did want another little zing. So I want to sprinkle some of that also on my eggplant. I know I probably shouldn't, but use a little bit more of this, okay, because that's going to look really pretty in the photograph. And since it's 5:02, I bet you that one's done. And I'm just being super cautious. So let's get these off here. Somebody's going to have a nice dinner tonight. Can you see on the overhead? It's smoking out. There we go. And this did have a different sauce that you could use with it, but I just thought that this wonderful sauce that we made is going to be wonderful with this as well. Okay. So how about them apples? Ooh.
That looks fantastic, Chef.
Little drizzle, drizzle. I may just have to taste something. Let's turn this off. Hello. And that is, a summer dinner. But again, if it's not 100 degrees outside, you could grill the eggplant outside if it's a beautiful day. This is, you can also do it the day before. So there's a lot of this that is, let me move this over a bit. You can have that sauce made the day before. So I think that, yeah, you don't have to chop up the basil. Isn't that great? one less thing to chop up. It really wasn't a lot of chopping. So the most time consuming is really just, making these. And you could even have those all done up and ready on the skewers in the refrigerator the day before. So lots of little shortcuts we could take. And I just think it's yummy, sprinkle. And the pomegranate. Remember to use gloves with the pomegranate. So yes, thank you to everybody, my AHA family, Gia, Angela, God bless you, Deborah, all my community impact team, Kim, Rhonda, Kara, Cleo Braver, Cottingham Farms, love you, love the gorgeous eggplants and tomatoes. We're using those tomorrow. And last but not least, Alessandra Uriarte. You're beautiful. And I love having you here. So thank you to Rosalind Thompson, who's not here tonight, but I could not have, gotten through this year without you all. So as an employee with AHA, I appreciate you too.
We appreciate you, Chef. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, Alessandra, for being our moderator today. And such a big thanks again, Chef Stephanie. These are very popular. We are so excited to give this gift of you demonstrating these wonderful recipes to our AHA staff. And thank you for everything you do to help us stay healthy and learn something new.
Thank you, Megan. Namaste. Working on my yoga.
Love it.